The 4th of July in Las Vegas could look like this, but it could also look like this. I'll show you how to avoid this whole mess and also how to make the most of your time while you're here. What is up, my fellow budget travelers? In today's video, we stayed at the Excalibur for 4th of July weekend. We got in late the night before and we went downstairs, explored a little bit, but mostly we headed back to the room because this day was about to be an epic day. Today was the 4th of July. I love staying in this part of the strip because you've got New York right next door. There's Excalibur, Luxor, MGM. There's a lot to do just in this little trifecta over here. It's pretty crazy to think that now the Tropicana is no more. But this weekend we had walked over there to check it out before it got torn down, and it was pretty bittersweet. But of course, it being the 4th of July and all, you know we had to walk and take some photos over by the Statue of Liberty, and I was rocking the red, white, and blue all day today. We were starving, so we headed over to Tom's Watch Bar, which, as you guys know, is one of my favorite spots because I'm obsessed with their prime rib sandwich. I'm also always curious to see what kind of crazy flavors are in the Hershey store. And I love window shopping in Vegas in general because I think it's hilarious these high brand luxury items always have like a pedestrian walking shoe, basically. And I always like to stop at the Aria because I'm obsessed with these dragons in front of the Aria, and they always have something really cool going on in the lobby. Most of the lobbies, they'll change seasonally, so that's why we are on our way to Bellagio because they've got the Bellagio Botanical Gardens, which I love. Another fun thing to check out in the Aria is over in the back. They always have a chocolate display, and this thing is massive. And yes, that is all chocolate. I also always like to make a wish on the Buddha's belly over here. He's like my lucky charm. If you go back into the crystal shops over by Aria, they have a free tram. So we usually take this from Park MGM, but we wanted to go explore Aria. So if you take it from Park MGM, it'll take you all the way up to the Bellagio. If you want to see the video explaining free trams in Las Vegas, I'll leave it at the end of this video, so make sure you check that out. As you're walking towards the gardens, there's a few different things to see on your path. There's like huge flower displays. There's also a chocolate fountain, and this is like the world's largest chocolate fountain. They sell chocolates over here, like truffles and things, and then they also do hot chocolate, coffee. It's like a little coffee stand over here. And even from here, you'll be able to smell all the flowers that are wafting through all of Bellagio. And Bellagio changes this 4 times a year. They've got Lunar New Year, they've got summer, then there's harvest, and then they have a holiday show as well. But be careful because they do have blackout weeks, so make sure you plan your trip so that you can definitely see this because this is as Vegas as it gets. And it's free. And yes, these are all real flowers. It smells so good in here. They've also got huge flower displays in the lobby as well, so make sure you make that part of your trip. And now that we had come and seen what we had planned to see, it was time to go back to Excalibur because we needed some suntan. We needed a base for the pool party tomorrow. And Park MGM is right next to New York, which is right next to Excalibur. So it's basically like the monorail drops you off at Excalibur. We spent most of today at the pool, honestly. It was just such a perfect Vegas day. It wasn't too hot, wasn't too cold. It was, I want to say like 85 or so. It was just perfect weather. We mostly sat at the side of the pool and just kind of worked on our tan with the Excalibur in the background. But they do have an adult only area if you do want to party Excalibur. It's an option, but we were just taking it easy. After the pool, we decided to go listen to some live music. So they have this piano bar over in Bellagio, so we headed back up there via the tram, and we just hung out there for a little bit, and then we went over to the new Old Red across the street. They had a really fun country band, and my friend was going to the Grateful Dead concert, so we got to see this awesome installation of all the bears in the water. I thought this was so well done. They had them like dancing and everything. It was so cool. If you're a Deadhead, then you know they have Shakedown Street. So that was about a 20-minute walk off the strip. So we headed down over there to check out the merch and everything, and that was a really fun vibe as well. We didn't find anything that we hadn't seen already online, but it was fun to go and explore and see the different people that were poking around. Then it was time to head over to Caesars because their fireworks start at dusk. So on our way over there, we stopped at the shrine. There was actually nobody here, so it's a really nice zen moment for us. If you want, they have a little donation spot over here. And then in front of Caesars, there were all these crazy sports cars. So we watched all of those pull up for a while, but then we decided to go inside and get a drink before the fireworks started. So we watched some soccer right at the front bar in the lobby over there. It's a great spot because you can go outside and poke and see how many people are lining up for the fireworks so that you don't go out there too early. So just to give you a time reference, this was around 8:30 and then the show started at 9. This spot is awesome because you can see the reflections in Flamingo as well. To give you reference, it's right next to Hell's Kitchen and right next to the water over there. And it does get really packed, so I would say get there before 8:30, maybe like around 8 o'clock, just to make sure you get a spot. Otherwise, you're stuck back here. They gate off everything, guys. You're not allowed to get into Caesars. All this is gated off. They gate off people from the street too. People start jumping over gates. It's like mass pandemonium over here. So that's another tip I have for you is to just kind of stand and watch, honestly, if you want, but we're not going that way. We're gonna go back into Caesars and just hang out for a little while. And then I suggest going into the Bellagio Gardens and go through that way again so you get to see it at night. And I really suggest taking the tram back down to Excalibur because, like I said, those walkways are crazy town. Like, everybody's in the street. And the other cool thing about taking the tram is you'll be able to see all the other fireworks that are going on in the different neighborhoods around the strip. So I thought that was really cool watching all the shows. There was actually a couple trams that came and we just stood there and watched the shows for a while. That's what I was thinking the strip was going to be like. You also get a pretty good view of the high roller and the sphere from up here too, so I just think it's way better than dealing with all the crowds in the street. We had a really early morning for the next day, so we decided to just head back to Excalibur. For the pool parties in Vegas, I really suggest getting on a promoter's list. I've got a video about that as well if you want to check that one out. But honestly, guys, the lineup for July 4th week in Las Vegas is amazing. It's like any DJ you want to see is basically there. So the only hard thing you're going to have a hard time with is deciding which DJs to go see because they're all on stage at the same time. You've got Zook, Omnia, Hakkasan, plus all the pool parties going on during the day. So instead of picking a venue, I'd definitely pick which DJ you like. But if you are looking for the best venue, honestly, I think it's EBC. They just have the best vibe for a pool party and they are so much fun here. You're going to want to get there early because the line does form. They have a 2-hour open bar right at opening. So remember, if you're standing in line for an hour, that means you only get 1 hour of open bar. So definitely get there early enough so you can take advantage. They're going to give you a stamp and a bracelet, and then they'll have a sponsored liquor. So it's usually going to be maybe, you know, tequila, soda, or rum and coke kind of thing. It's not like totally open bar. It's like whatever the sponsored drink is what you get. But the vibe is awesome because it's 4th of July and everybody's just happy and you get to see these awesome costumes. There were so many people in like United States flag bikinis and things, and people had cowboy hats and cowboy boots, all sorts of fun America flair. Usually the house opener DJ is really, really good, and we came to see Afrojack, who was awesome. We honestly stayed until 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, I don't know, I lost track of the time. But let me just tell you, if you plan on going out at night, you're not gonna make it. Because if you stay at the pool party all day, in that sun, it's just gonna knock you out. So try to, time it out so you can take a nap if you're going out to a DJ that night as well. Because we got back to the room, took a nap, and didn't wake up until like 3 in the morning. That's about when my friend got in, and he gave me some footage of the Grateful Dead. It looks like such an awesome show. If you get a chance to go to the Sphere, everyone's sounds like equally as amazing. So I really suggest going to the Sphere if you do get a chance. Again, this was the Grateful Dead. Grateful Dead was amazing too, he said. And then the next morning, we decided to go out to Zion. So if you want to check out some of those adventures, make sure you check out some of my other videos. We went and saw dinosaur foot tracks. We saw Horseshoe Bend. We went and saw Antelope Canyon. We did all sorts of stuff. There is so much stuff to do out west. It's so many things to do and so many road trips to have. I made a group of videos that are kind of like shortcuts because there's not really much information for people who don't really hike. I'm not really a hiker, so I wanted to make videos on just the easy way to do the sites so you still get the full experience, but maybe not like the hard, like treacherous tracks and things. So if you want to check those out, check it out, and I will see you in the next video.